Welcome back, lords and ladies. KingRayRay here, and I am your host for this evening. So, last episode we had a little sparring match between Takeru and the tsundere tyrant. He put her in a hold which tied up her clothes, but because her clothes were wet and she was impatient, all her clothes tore. So now she is naked as Jaybird. I think I would prefer if you asked Narumi-chan about that. But that won't work. I don't get like this when there are only girls around. I guess, but I felt as though every male in the world were cursing me for my indecisiveness. At this moment, a pretty girl stood before me, suggesting that I look at her naked. All for the sake of making her less embarrassed in the future. How could I call myself a man if I declined such an invitation? Whoa. But are you really okay with me? I can't think of anyone else to do it. Please, Takeru, look at me. That is just so weird, honestly. Was this really happening? If it was, this was the best type of training I've ever experienced. Giggity, giggity, alright! As Mio began to move her arm, I turned my head. Unfortunately, at this very moment, the door slammed open and walked in Meiko and Michiko wrapped in towels. Talk about bad timing! It was nice of Elder-sama to allow us to take baths. It will be nice to Takahiro! Yeah, Takini and the tsundere time doing the naughty things. Well, wait, this is not what it looks like. Ah! And with that, the girl fainted again, slipped into the water before I had a chance to react. Poor girl, poor girl. It took a considerable amount of effort to convince others nothing unholy had taken place. Thanks to Narumi's testimony, coupled up with Mio's apparent habit of freezing, they believed me. However, as I turned to leave, Narumi dragged me off to the side. It seemed like she wanted me to come see her later that evening in return for saving my hide. I couldn't really see a way for me to weasel out of that, so I reluctantly agreed. That evening, I excused myself and made my way to Narumi's home, knocking on the door lightly. Hey, Narumi-chan, are you there? Just a minute. The door's open, but don't come in yet. Curious, I found myself wondering what the girl had planned. Perhaps she was preparing a meal or something to surprise me with. Some sort of present, or maybe she wanted to talk. Whatever the reason might be, Narumi's voice once again sounded from within the house. Okay, you can come in now, Takeru-kan. Feeling kind of excited, I opened the door and walked in. The door sliding shut behind me, the room was darker than I remembered, and it occurred to me to hunt for a light. Foolishly, I began searching for the light switch when I remembered that something like that was unlikely to exist here. I managed to locate a small lamp and a nearby box of matches, lighting it with ease. Turn around, Takeru-kan. Oh my goodness gracious, what is she thinking? Is that chocolate or mud? I hope that's chocolate. I turned around and my eyes bulged. Mine too. Standing before me was Narumi, only she seemed to be dripping. Taking in the view, I let out a shriek. For a moment, I expected to see a slime girl, but then I noticed the smell of chocolate in the air. Please tell me you're not possessed by some kind of chocolate spirit. I instinctively found my eyes drafting along Narumi's chocolate-coated figure, trying to find any sign the spirit would be involved. When I found none, I felt myself growing increasingly nervous. Of course not, silly. Don't you like it? Don't you think it suits me, all sweet and delicious? Oh boy, girl. Girl, get yourself checked. Well, I mean, you're sweet and all, and not just because of chocolate. What in the world happened? Yeah, thank you. Don't worry about the little details. Do you want to taste? Oh my gosh. Taste? Yeah, that's what I was told anyways. You put some tasty on your body and let someone else eat it. That's how you get close to people in your world, right? I think it was called intimi. Hold on. Did someone tell you to do this? Because do you realize there's no way this will turn into... I stuttered as Narumi stepped closer. Her pose caused me to swallow, trying my best to resist the temptation. At this rate, getting a stomach from eating all that chocolate would be the least of my worries. Stomach. Stomach? What's a stomach? I think he meant stomach ache. What's wrong, Tikoro-kan? Don't you want to be friends? Or do you like chocolate? I have honey too, if you'd prefer. Oh my gosh. I love chocolate, but I don't think honey will be any better. I don't get it. What's wrong? Is it because it's me? I bet if it's Mio or Chi-chan did something like this, you'd be eating right away. The day Mio coats herself in chocolate is the day that pigs fly. Yeah, she never do something like this. But still, I don't get why you're not enjoying this. Did I do something wrong? Narumi-chan, you see, this is actually something people do when you know... Oh, wow, wow. So I guess I messed up pretty big, didn't I? I'm going to kick that Shrine Spirit's butt next time I see her. Ugh. What Shrine Spirit? Did Shiori put you up to this? Yeah, she told me this would help us bond or something. Well, I guess we shouldn't let all that chocolate go to waste. Narumi, I need to talk to you about... What the hell is going on here? Your vice captain is possessed by a chocolate spirit. Chocolate! Oh my lord! Do I look like an idiot? This is because of earlier, isn't it? No, it's not. I promise. Someone just gave me some really bad advice. Really? Well then, allow me to give you some good advice. Go get yourself cleaned now, before anyone else sees you like this. Honestly, you're the face of the village. You could have been called out to defend it at any moment. Do you think yourself capable in a state like this? I think most people would. I am not finished! Narumi, you are sleeping in my spare bedroom tonight. Takeru, clean up this mess. If you do not complete this task before morning, you will not get to sleep. And if you do not complete this task before breakfast, you won't get any breakfast. That's a bit unfair, isn't it? I sighed. The shouting and angry flares from the samurai girl made me feel a bit too intimidated to decline her demands. As she marched the dejected and still chocolate-coated girl out of the house, shielding her with an old robe, I took a look around. It was going to take me hours to get rid of all this chocolate. If Ichikawa ever finds out about this, he's going to give me hell. It has been a week since I came to this world. I spent my days helping out around the village and training with Mio and Narumi. I even tried my hand at repairing some damage done by Sakura. I still had no clue where I was, but I was enjoying the time spent here. Every time reminded me of things I had read about in school history books, from the buildings to the people. I looked at the nearby girls and let out a sigh. The history books never said anything about fox spirits. They were mentioned. They were mentions of them in various religious texts, but they weren't real. So, you sure this wedding sesh will be able to get me back to my world? In the end, Mako had been able to research the spell even further. She had a huge progress over the past few days. So Yuri was able to provide some details. She believes that the spell will return something to where it belongs. I suppose it's worth a try. It will work. I know it will. I just need some time to prepare. I'm not sure if I should be grateful or worried. Still, I don't think you should be able to figure out so fast. Didn't think you'd be able to figure out so fast, Mako-chan. Yep, magic's super easy. Just a wave and a flash, and it's done. Except the time it will take you to prepare the ingredients. Do not underestimate the arcane arts, Mako-chan. You have a gift. Make sure you treat it with respect it deserves. A wave and a flash. I'm not going to end up exploding into fireworks or something, right? Absolutely. Probably not. I guarantee it. Don't worry, Takani. I won't do anything that'll hurt you. I hope. Unless you happen to be made of clay, glass, wood, or stone. These all seem to shatter when you try to cast a spell on them. Oni-sama, you don't have to tell him that. Oh boy, good thing human bodies mostly made of water. Let's take a break. I'm feeling a bit distracted by the young girl's excitement. I didn't notice as sweat had started forming on my forehead, a sudden dizziness coming over me. Without a warning, I collapsed on the ground, my breathing heavy and ragged. As my vision faded, the girls ran towards me, shouting my name in concern. Slowly, I regained consciousness, opening my eyes to take in the familiar surroundings of the room I had occupied during my stay within unfamiliar world. I was surprised to find the two fox spirits in the room with me, seemingly in the middle of preparing something. Taka-kan, it's good to see you awake again. You were unconscious for quite some time. How are you feeling? A bit tired, but I'm okay. What happened? You sprung quite a high fever. I have prepared some food for you. It will be ready soon. Mako-chan's preparing a spell that will hopefully improve your condition. I think you have a cold. You were so hot and sweaty, I had to get you out of your clothes to wash them. My head felt a little bit fuzzy from the rest, but I was probably just exhausted from constant training. I guess even a hero gets sick sometimes. Took me a moment to realize that what Michiko had said. Raising the blankets, I found myself in nothing but a pair of shorts. I instantly blushed. Well, why would you take my clothes? Being near naked in the presence of someone as pretty as Michiko, I kept the blanket close enough to be a second layer of skin. I'm almost ready, Oni-sama. Michiko suddenly slipped past me, startling me in the process as her hands gently grasped my shoulder, pulling me against her. None of our ropes fit you. This is the best we could do. I need you to relax. Easier said than done. Who would be able to relax with a girl hugging them? The lack of clothes only made me more nervous. Just lean back against me and watch. Mako-chan, is about to give you a demonstration of her powers. It would be rude not to pay attention. And I would hate to have to punish you for being rude. I bet she would. And those words were whispered in my ears like temptation of a succubus. I kept my eyes on the younger sibling. The sight of the young fox spirit, seemingly in the middle of preparing some sort of ritualistic spell, caused me momentarily forget about my embarrassment. Don't be alarmed if anything unusual from any unusual sensations. Once the spell takes hold, it usually takes a few moments to flow through you. Feel free to grab a hold of me if you need to. Despite my attempt to protest, I decided it was best not to worry too much about it. It wasn't like she was going to blow me up or anything. As though in a daze, I watched a small glowing orb start to gather in the room, urged on by a soft whisper of the young fox spirit who had finally started her spell. Maybe I should accept Michiko's invitation before something blew up in my face. And wah! Oh my goodness gracious, look at all that fire. As I watched the girl begin to swirl her arms around, tiny balls of light like fireflies began to appear in the vortex of her swirling hands spinning around her. The light had a warm feeling to it, not hurtful to the eyes, but more intense than a candlelight or a light bulb. Finally, she began to move her whole body, a dance of sorts that made the light flare even brighter. It makes me jealous seeing her like this, not of her power, but her beauty. It is in this moment she is the most beautiful creature in the world. I won't disagree with you there. Ah, but would you choose her over me? Which do you like better, maturity or youthful vigor? Or perhaps a stern tsundere is more your type? Or are you... I could tell she was just poking fun at me, despite my current state. I was about to offer a reply in return when I felt a tingle inside of me. Ooh, tingle, 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 tingle! It felt familiar to the sensation of swallowing fizzy candy, only throughout my entire body. Oh, this feels weird. And it's done. And he didn't even explode. Yay! Wait, what? Tell me, do you feel any better, Taka-kan? I feel a bit weird, like my entire body's tingling. I really hope I won't explode. If you're going to explode, you would have done it by now. You'll be super fine in no time. Dinner, dinner, nee. What was that about? Almost as soon as she finished her spell, Mako clutched her head in her hands and fell to her knees. Michiko seemed as startled as myself as Mako suddenly display of pain. As I tried to get back to my feet, Mako-chan rushed to her side. Mako! You need more to show more restraint. Please, lie down. Taka-kan, you can keep an eye on her. I'm going to prepare something that will help her. Of course. Come, Mako-chan. You should lie down over here. Finally regaining my footing, I made my way to Mako's side. After making sure her sister was left in good hands, Michiko left the room, leaving me alone with the groaning girl who had been struck by a nasty headache after casting her spell. Hey, that's probably me every day I record. Oni-sama, Takani. Don't worry, Mako-chan. I'm sure your sister will be back soon. Try to relax a bit until then. Takani, do you like Oni-sama? Well, where did that question come from? Oni-sama asked, but you never answered. I don't mind, you know, if you like Oni-sama over me. I'd sure like it if you liked me, though. how do I explain this? I paused briefly, trying to think of a good way to respond when I finally decided to play it safe. I raised a hand gently, patted the girl's head, offering a warm smile. I like you both, just like I like Narumi-chan and Mio-san. You're all friends I've managed to make in this new world. No, silly, of course you like us all. But who do you like? Oni-sama was just asking about your type, and I know what that means. Oh, you mean it like that? Oops. There we go. To be honest, I've been focusing so much on my judo that I haven't really thought about it. How about I make you and your sister a promise? A promise? Yeah, a promise. I'm not ready to answer a question like that yet. Judo has always been it. That's why I need to get back to my world, to win the match. It's been my dream since I was a kid, and real men don't give up on their dreams. Why do I keep on skipping one? There we go. But I promise you that after my match, I'll do everything I can to return to this world. This time, as a man who will be able to answer your question. So now, I'll have a reason to come back here because a real man always keeps his promise. That makes me happy. As we sat there for a while, I suddenly heard something some shuffling sound. Mako apparently heard it as well. Squeaking, she toppled back into her rear. Yeah, I fell again. I guess I'm not all better yet. Sad thing. The thing is, if you guys remember, they made a comment where they don't wear underwear. You probably shouldn't move around too much, Mako-chan. You're probably tired from all the things you just did. Yeah, I'm fine. Her tail twitched eagerly behind her, hiking her skirt up enough to be revealing. Are you now? You seem to be all fidgeting a lot for some reason. Yo, you saying things, I'm fine. Amused by her behavior, I watched as she curled her hands and twitched her ears, using a voice that didn't sound quite like her. In the back of my head, I found myself thinking that she looked very much like, well, a cat. It is normal for a fox to act like a cat. I could have sworn you look ready to pounce on a mouse at any second now. Yeah, magic makes me do weird things sometimes. One time, Oni-sama had to get a ladder because I climbed up a tree and was building a nest. Oh boy, she thought she was a bird one time, huh? That's always fun. Well, speaking of mice, I think Takani looks like one. Wait, I'm totally a Tom, not a Jerry. Huh? Silly Takani. I'm talking about your world, trying to confuse me. I'm definitely going to pounce you. My eyes quickly scanned the area around me, hoping to find something I could distract her with, at least long enough for Michiko to return. I spotted a long piece of thread off to the side and decided to grab it, dangling it in front of Mako's face. Pounce this instead. Yeah. The girl began to swat at the lash at the string, putting a bit of distance between the two of us. Happy that I was able to manage to prevent another embarrassing scene, I lied back, only to be greeted by an ever-rising skirt of Mako, reminding me of exact reason the sisters had gone to the village in the first place. Well, wait, Mako-chan, if you jump now, I'll see something that can never be unseen. Your skirt is about to... I waved a hand in her general direction, averting my eyes as I tried to hide the blush on my face. Oh, darn it. Boop. What? Yeah. With a shriek that undoubtedly shook the mansion's very foundation, the girl slammed a hand down on her skirt, hiding herself from me in hopes of saving her dignity. Oh no, I'm not a maiden anymore. I can't wear white at my wedding. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this episode, please leave a big fat like. If you haven't subscribed, come on and come subscribe. I will catch you lords and ladies next episode. Bye bye now and enjoy.